Hello everyone, welcome to the Economics for Everybody podcast. Today we'll talk about the techies. These are workers who are engaged with technology and computing and are often enthusiasts of innovation and new technologies. Our guest, Ariell Reshef, professor at the Paris School of Economics, research director at the National Center for Scientific Research, and affiliated with the Sorbonne Economics Center. His research interests focus on income distribution changes in the structure of employment and productivity. His work lies at the intersection of international trade, labor economics, and macroeconomics. Hello, Ariell.
Hello.
Can you tell us more about the techies, who they are, and how do we classify them?
Techies are engineers and other technically trained workers who can be identified in French data by using the occupational classifications that are provided by INSEE, the National Statistical Agency for France. Using these classifications, we can bunch techies into three broad categories. The first category are techies that are involved in R&D tasks. Another group are techies that are involved in ICT tasks, so information and communication technologies. And a third group, which is heterogeneous, which is involved in carrying out tasks in other technologies. Using survey data, we see that, not surprisingly, these techies are clearly distinct from other occupations in their STEM education. They have their degrees in science, technology, engineering, and math, whereas other occupations rarely do have that, even managers. We find that they're prevalent in the private sector. They're everywhere, and they're a big chunk of the private sector employment, accounting for more than 18% of the wage bill in 2019.
What does economic history tell us about their importance?
Well, there's very interesting economic history research that highlights the role of techies in the Industrial Revolution. In a nutshell, once innovations were innovated, if you will, it was important to diffuse these innovations and technologies throughout the economy. And these techies, which were not the innovators, but just people that had basic technological skills, basic math, reading and writing skills, were key conveyors of new technologies, conduits of diffusion, and were really important for the diffusion of the Industrial Revolution throughout the economy. There is also interesting research that highlights the role of techies once engineers became distinct as an occupation in patenting. And other research highlights the role of engineers in promoting prosperity more generally by using variation in the location of engineering schools at the end of the 19th century and associating this to welfare today.
What's their effect on firm productivity?
Very briefly, before telling you what I found their effect is, it's important to acknowledge that estimating firm-level productivity is tricky, and so we use state-of-the-art methodology to estimate productivity and to estimate the determinants of the evolution of productivity. And so what we find is that techies do have a large positive effect on firm-level productivity, and that firms that have techies are, on average, 50% more productive than firms that don't. We also find that within the firms that employ techies, firms that employ them more intensively see even greater effects on their productivity. So this is more than just firms that have techies or firms that don't. Overall, we find that the impact of R&D techies is larger in manufacturing, which is not surprising because most of these R&D techies are located there. And the ICT techies have larger effects in the services sector.
How do they contribute to innovation and digital transformation within their companies?
So using survey data, we find that, for example, ICT techies are so strongly associated with ICT training within the firms that employ them. And importantly, we don't find this association to be quite as strong with the other types of techies, which gives credence to this link between ICT techies and ICT training. So this is one channel of diffusion. Techies contribute to innovation by the nature of what they do. we find that R&D techies are strongly associated with patenting, whereas other types of techies are much less much less positively associated with patenting. And then we find really interesting patterns of relationship between innovation and techies. In particular, IT techies are associated with product innovation, which makes sense because most of them are in the services sector. R&D techies are associated with all kinds of innovation, and these other techies, this heterogeneous group, are more associated with process innovation, which is the improvement of existing production processes.
What are the implications of your research on the techies?
The obvious implication is that they are important for productivity growth, but perhaps interestingly is that since we find their impacts not only through R&D and innovation, but also through IT and other technologies, not necessarily innovation, well, this implies that there may be a trade-off between promoting fundamental research and investing in innovation and innovators per se, and creating a broad base of technically educated people, perhaps even technicians and not necessarily engineers, that can help firms adopt technologies and diffuse the benefits of these technologies throughout the firms that employ them.
Thank you for answering our questions. For more information, visit PSE website www.parisschoolofeconomics.eu. See you soon!